I go back to Detroit. Now, there was still nothing really happening in the music business, but we did have some ripples going on. Of course, my man Jackie Wilson came out of Detroit, and we had the Flame Show Bar and different things happening. So it was something about happening, but nothing to get excited about until I met Berry Gordy. Now, Berry and I met at a barbershop where everybody on 12th Street, if you wanted to get your hair done, look the right, see the right people, you had to go to Benny Mullen's barbershop. We called him Muldoon, which was like a joke. At any rate, Benny liked to introduce people so that you could get to talking. Therefore, you won't think about how much time you're spending in the barbershop, because you spend a lot of time in that barbershop. So he introduced Berry and I. And he said to me, okay, hey, Mick, this is the guy that wrote that song you like by Jackie Wilson. I said, what are you talking about? To Be Loved? He wrote that song? So I was excited, but I was real cool. I said, oh, man, that's a great song. I mean, Jackie Wilson's my man. And Berry said, well, I'm doing an album on him. But I heard about you and the musicians. You got a nice group of guys that you work with. So I was real cool still. I said, yeah, you know, but I also write songs, and I'm kind of building myself up. And he said, well, we got to get a chance to talk. I'm going to Chicago, finish this album. When I come back, I'll get with you. So I said, yeah. I said, well, you know, I got a couple of songs for Jackie Wilson. I thought I'd try to ease that in there. He gave me a little smirk on his face. He said, okay, well, we'll see about that. And by this time, the dryers are ready. But when the dryer's ready, you better get under it, because if you don't make that dryer, you got big trouble. So we're both under the dryer. And of course, with me, I fall asleep like always. And when I wake up, I mean, he's gone. And there I am in the chair and thinking about, man, this is going to be great. I met Berry Gordy, and I can get some of my songs to Jackie Wilson. And I was all excited about that as we walked out of the shop.
Mickey tried to convince Berry Gordy that he should sing for Motown, but the chairman had a different idea.
Mickey Stevenson first came to Motown. He auditioned for me as a singer. As soon as he started singing, I said, what else can you do?
So he said, okay, you're a songwriter and all that? I said, yeah. He said, okay, let me hear your song. So I said, you got no piano. How do I do my song? He said, you open your mouth and you start singing. So that was like a challenge to me. So I said, okay. I reached in my briefcase, break out one of my best songs. I said, if only the sky was a mirror. I started saying, he said, stop. He said, your voice is for shit, but your song seems all right.
He said, oh, I'm not finished yet. And I said, I know, what else can you do? He said, I got some more songs. I said, what else can you do? He said, anything that has to do with music. I said, well, I'm looking for an A&R man, a director. Can you do that? Absolutely, he said.
Well, that was not what I came there for. But I figured, okay, if we have to get in, I got to get in. So I said to him, how much you paying? Then that little grin came on his face, and he said, $5 a day. I said, what? And all the chili you can eat. Can you imagine $5 a day and all the chili you can eat?
I said, what is an A&R director? So Mickey said, well, I don't know exactly, but I do know it has something to do with music, studio musicians, and recording and stuff like that.
So I said, let me ask you a question. am I in charge? I'm in charge of the musicians and the artists and all that? He said, yeah. Can I sign and record anybody I want to record? He said, yeah. You're the A&R man. That's what A&R people do. I said, oh, yeah. Can I sign myself and record myself? He said, yeah. I wouldn't want to hear it, though. He said, but I tell you one thing. You got to be honest. I said, yeah, you got to be honest. Okay. He said, yeah. If it don't work, if it don't sound right, it ain't happening, you don't want to do it. I said, okay. I'll take it on. That's when I took this job.
And so Berry listened to him, and he didn't think he was going to make a good artist, but he liked Mickey's demeanor. And so Mickey ended up becoming our first A&R director at Motown. And for those of you who perhaps do not know what A&R means artist and repertoire, which means that Mickey was the one who doled out the studio time for you going in to record the artist that you wanted to record at that time, if you were a producer or a writer or something like that. And Mickey coordinated all that. And Mickey also, he did one of the most dynamic things that's ever been done at Motown, in as much as Mickey was the one who put the Funk Brothers together.
I met Mickey Stevenson when I was still in high school. I had started to play with a local band and was told that I needed to join the Musicians Union. So I went to the Musicians Union to join up. And I saw this guy who was very smartly dressed. And he kind of stuck out. And I asked somebody, who's that guy? And he said, well, that guy is Mickey Stevenson. He's over here putting together some musicians for Hitsville. I said, Hitsville? Well, I'd heard of Hitsville, you know, it's a local company, which was later to become Motown.
Mickey went around to little clubs in Detroit and one by one gathered the guys who became the Funk Brothers. And they were like an awesome band. And they played on almost every Motown record ever in the early days of Motown. So Mickey is responsible for putting that group together. And that is very, very, very significant to the history of Motown.
And he was somebody that you just kind of held in awe and wondered about, because he was so mysterious but so knowledgeable about the industry and what he was doing, and you just kind of wondered, where did he get all this information from, and how did, you know, he know so much at that time, but he did.
As he came in, I thought that he had been doing A&R or something to that, you know, same status for years. I didn't realize that he was just starting out pretty much like we were. He just seemed to have this vast amount of energy as well as knowledge. And of course, you know, the one thing is that I didn't realize he was as young as he was. I thought he was a lot older because, I guess, because of his mannerisms and his attitude about professionalism and taking care of business.